Okay, well, this was a lot better in my opinion. So here again, talking about the Xbox E3 conference this time, which, like I said, is way better than EA's conference was yesterday, in my opinion. I actually have more things to talk about this time, but first I want to say that I want to apologize because I was kind of in a rush to get the EA video done, before it was too late, and my computer's kind of slow, and my internet's actually really fucking slow, so I kind of uploaded the video without really looking at all that close, so the music is kind of really high on my last video. I'll try to make sure that doesn't happen with this one, but okay. So, got my notes, let's get this over with. So, the Xbox One started off with revealing the Xbox, because, it's the Xbox One X, which is Xbox. It's really impressive actually. It's cranking up a lot more. It's producing a lot higher resolution quality, 4K resolution, which is great. More memory, more RAM, all that good stuff. I'm not a big Xbox guy. So, generally speaking, I actually avoid the Xbox conference because even though they do usually have some multi-platform games that they show, and they showed a few on here, for the most part, I'm not all that interested in what Xbox is doing. So I usually just focus on conferences that I actually, give a shit about. And Xbox just usually isn't one of them. So, but yeah, Xbox One X, pretty good. Uses the new Scorpio engine, which is really damn impressive, and is backwards compatible with all Xbox One games, which is great. And I imagine most of the games that are coming out exclusively for the Xbox One X are going to be playable on the Xbox One. So unless you are just a graphics whore and you have a lot of disposable income, I really don't see a point in actually getting this. At least not for a while, until there are more games coming out for it, because maybe it's just because I wasn't paying close enough attention, because they usually had it scrolled on to the lower left-hand side of the screen, but I'm not sure exactly how many of these are going to really show off the power that the Xbox One X is actually going to display. So again, you might want to hold off on actually getting one of these for a while, unless you really want that 4K. And the first game that showed off was Forza 7, which is a racing game, and I'm not big on racing games. I was somewhat interested in Need for Speed yesterday, but only because it had the car chasing and the vehicle combat, because it had more than just racing in it, and that's why I even gave half a shit about it. But apparently Xbox is partnering with Porsche, and they had some new Porsche model on stage. I didn't give a shit, and they actually had two race car drivers. They were both, of course, beautiful women. Demo the game for everyone, and it looked fine. It was good. It had a bunch of cars. It had weather and terrain effects, which was okay. And had, I'm guessing, real life race tracks. Which, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, cool. You know what? This is gonna be good for you. If you're a fan of the Forza series, you're probably gonna really like this one. I'm not my thing. don't really care. One good thing is that they showed upwards of 40 games in this conference, which is great, and over 22 of them are Xbox exclusives, which is really damn good, actually. So this first game is Metro Exodus, which I don't know if it's a sequel to Metro First Light or Metro Last Light. It might be. It looks like it's in the same universe, but I'm not entirely sure. It looks great. The demo had you whatever it is had you going through like this wintry area, then in the vault, then into this abandoned shanty town, and you're like fighting off mutant dogs, and you fight a mutant bear, and then you climb on top of the train. It looked cool. It looked cool. So yeah, this looked good. This looked great. Obviously it was staged all to hell. Like, I really doubt the game is actually gonna, like, when you play the game, it's not gonna look like that. Or at least not exactly like that. But, whatever. One thing I don't think anyone's surprised by, a new Assassin's Creed game. It's a thing. Assassin's Creed Origins, it's called this time. It's apparently the origin, obviously with the name, the origin story of the Assassin Order. Which, okay. You play a dude named Bayat. I'm not sure. He's the last of the Magi, which are, if you ever saw the early 2000 Mummy movies with Brendan Fraser, you have a basic idea of what the Magi are supposed to be. So the demo actually showed you going on an assassination attempt against this false oracle or something, I don't know. One thing I did think is kind of interesting is that the assassin, when he's infiltrating the hideout of dude, he says something about Anubis, like you've disgraced the name of Anubis, or I'll kill you in the name of Anubis, or something like that. So I'm guessing that this dude is the assassins originated in some sort of religious order, maybe. Anubis is the god of death, so it kind of makes sense that an order that basically kills people for a living would have a strong connection to the god of death. So that was pretty cool. One thing is you can actually send your eagle to like survey the area, which is, I don't think any other Assassin's Creed game is done. I've only played like 2, and I didn't complete either of them. Not a big Assassin's Creed fan, I gotta be honest. But that was a cool feature. That was a cool function. It's something that you can work with. Yeah, it was. Other than that, it was your usual Assassin's Creed stuff. Sneaky, stabby. The combat was good. It had a nice flow to it. It looked good. And one thing that is kind of weird, you apparently have homing arrows. Cause you shoot a dude, he goes down a flight of stairs, and the arrow follows him. And don't give me that. Oh, it's just the arrow. Like, it's just the arrow's trajectory. Like, arrows eventually fall, but no, it curved right when he was going down the fucking stairs. That was a fucking homing arrow. Okay. So is it like the assassins in Wanted? He can fucking curve arrows now? Fuck. I don't. Okay. I don't have any problem with this. Alright, sorry about that. Had a slight issue with my camera. It was just chugging a little bit, so had to take care of that. Okay, so Next game they showed was called PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. It's an open world multiplayer shooter. Well, that's really all you know about it. It's military style, kind of guerrilla warfare. Big open sandbox. Didn't seem all that structured. The thing is, I think I actually saw my friend playing an early version of this game on his channel about a couple months ago. Proto Nico. If you want to see a really weird dude playing really weird games, Proto Nico sounds spelled exactly as it sounds. Check him out. If it's anything like that, seems like a pretty fun game. Not much else to say. And next week games they actually showed in rapid fire succession. Not a whole lot of information given out. Just showing the basic trailer, moving on, which is actually kind of good because it lets you show a lot more games. But Deep Rock Galactic multiplayer cave exploration game. You got combat, you got shooting, you got mining, which is pretty cool. You're basically a space miner. Think what's his face from Dead Space? Isaac something or something Isaacs. Think that dude, except you actually did your fucking job and didn't spend all your time getting hunted by alien eldritch horrors. Basically that, which pretty good, in my opinion. Pretty good. There's State of Decay. State of Decay 2, actually, because I had no idea there was a State of Decay 1. And pretty cool game. It's another zombie game, which was like when I first saw it, I was like, oh god, another fucking zombie game. But seems pretty good. You can pick people up. You can work together with people, pick them up. I'm guessing it seems like another open world MMO type game where you pick up survivors and kind of like DayZ, except it actually fucking works. You pick up survivors, you help them out, you fight off the zombie horde, and you actually build up a survivors colony. And what was cool is that you can if someone gets bitten, you can either shoot them to make sure that they don't turn, or you can use a cure. I'm assuming it only happens in the early stage of the whole zombie thing. Like if you get bitten and you don't show signs of turning, you can take this antidote and it'll save your life. But like the way the scene played out, it seemed like the antidote was in really small quantities. So you have to weigh losing a potential ally or losing the vaccine, which. That's great. That's good, and it plays into the whole survival thing. Like, what's good for the many against the good of the few. That sort of thing, which is always great. What was kind of cool is that throughout the entire trailer, there was this one guy narrating, and then he gets killed by. Well, a boomer basically, and then the character that he and his allies picked up started narrating after that. So I'm wondering if there's going to be permadeath in this, because it seemed like it would be, because like you survive all of this shit, especially if it's an MMO. You survive all this shit, you do all this, you build up this awesome colony, and then your character just straight up fucking dies. Like he gets torn and fucked. Like, he doesn't just get bit or eaten and turned into a zombie. The fucking boomer tears him in half, and then this woman that they picked up starts narrating and kills the fucking boomer, like just hardcore vengeance is its ass. And I'm curious how many instances like that are there gonna be, and and like it's seeming to me like permadeath is gonna be a thing, because why else would she be that fucking upset if her teammate died? Because like in most games, yeah, you're gonna be a little pissed off that your teammate died, but it's like he's gonna respawn in like 5 minutes. But if it's permadeath, then that character is well and truly gone. And like, sure, the player can roll another character, but if you don't know that person in IRL and you've just known him through this character, then you just lost a friend. I mean, he can maybe find you again, but it's not gonna, like. It has that aspect to it, and I really appreciate that if it actually does, and if it actually is an MMO. I actually don't know anything about this game. I could just all be pulling this out of my ass. I'm just guessing. So State of Decay looks actually pretty good. There was another game which was called the Darwin Project, which is it has a nice cartoony style, which I always appreciate. It's sort of a battle royal deathmatch survival type game. If you ever seen like Battle Royale, Hunger Games, Avengers Arena, stories like that, it seems very much like those type of stories. You set up a camp. You try and hunt down other players and kill them. You can probably like forge for healing items and weapons and stuff like that. And it's like I don't think there's ever actually been a game like that, which is actually kind of surprising. Really think if you really think about it, like there's never been like a battle royale style game. But if this is like that, then A, it's about time, and B, I think it would be pretty interesting. Just something about Minecraft. Is there a Minecraft MMO? I think that's what this is. I don't know if it's already out or if they're just announcing that it's going to be cross-platform. Players who are playing on PC can hang out with players who are playing on Xbox. I don't know. One thing that did seem completely fucking superfluous throughout this entire thing is they announced that this new Minecraft game is going to be 4K, because if there is any game series out there that can just fully utilize 4K technology, it's fucking Minecraft. With all their blocky, hideously pixelated characters and world design, it's so fucking perfect, What is the goddamn point of that? No, Microsoft, tell me right the fuck now, what is the point of that? What is the point of making Minecraft 4K? Why do that? Why spend effort on making one of the most basic looking, like, you could have made this game in fucking DOS. Okay, maybe not the whole, but you get my fucking point. Okay, alright, Dragon Ball Fighter Z. New Dragon Ball Z game, which is, yeah, okay, I can dig that. Dragon Ball Z, new Dragon Ball Z games, always something worth looking forward to. I think the last Dragon Ball Z game I played was Dragon Ball Xenoverse, and I was actually borrowing from a neighbor, and I eventually gave it back without actually beating it, because real talk, I kind of got bored with it. It isn't a bad game. It wasn't a bad game. It was actually a really good game, and I was enjoying it for a while. The combat felt really repetitive, and honestly, the most joy I got out of it was the fact that I made a Saiyan that looked like Starfire. I even named her Coriander. But this looks pretty good. It's actually going back to 2D fighting. It's actually really reminiscent of the Marvel vs. Capcom style, and it even has 3-on-3 battles, which is, yeah, cool. It looks great. It looks fine. I would actually play this. I'd be totally on board with this. Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Yeah. Black Desert's coming. The MMO Black Desert is coming to Xbox. That's pretty cool. They actually showed in Succession a lot of kind of indie titles, and that was actually kind of surprising. More surprising than anything else in this conference is the abundance of indie titles that the Xbox is hosting, because there were a few and they look pretty good. The last night. It's a really cyberpunky inspired game, really reminiscent of Blade Runner, Ghost in the Shell, Akira, stuff like that. And I'm not entirely sure what was actually going on. It seemed like a murder mystery or a fugitive type deal. Like maybe you were accused of some sort of crime you didn't commit, and you have this cop or bounty hunter or something chasing after you. It actually seemed pretty cool. And then there was The Artful Escape, which is just... I don't even fucking know. I can tell you. I don't know what the fuck this game is. I don't know what the fuck this game is. It has to do with music. I think it's a platformer. It has a cutout style, kind of like Tearaway or fuck, what was that? What was that game? The thing with the cat. Late in the Forest or Night in the Forest, or the thing with the cat and the alligator, and she's in college and she's depressed and fuck. Can't remember what that game is, but it's like that, except the characters are human, and it has to do with music and psychedelic imagery, and I don't know. I just know I want to fucking play it right now. So, it did its job at least. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but I want to. That's the point of advertising, to get you to want to play their game, which it did, so yeah, okay. Then there's Code Vein. Code Vein, one word. Code Vein. It's an anime hack and slash. It looks like the love child of Bayonetta and Castlevania, so it's probably good, Then they actually went into a fairly detailed demo of Sea of Thieves. There's actually a game I've heard of before, just didn't know that much about. Mostly due to Angry Joe. He did an E3 expectation before the conference, and that's actually why I first heard of this game. And it looks pretty fun. It's an online pirate game. You and your friends can actually man a pirate crew and have your own ship and just sail out and do shit. And the first thing they actually showed you doing is you can dive into the ocean when there's a sunken ship and get the treasure out from the sunken ship, and it's really cool. And you can fight a shark. You probably shouldn't, but you can. You can fight a shark, and that is awesome. And, because who wouldn't want to fight a shark? Well, most people, honestly. I don't think anyone would actually dive into the ocean with the intention of actually fighting a shark, unless you're, nuts or something like that. But, I mean, the idea of actually fighting a shark is pretty fucking cool. You gotta admit that. And you can find clues and treasure maps and stuff like that to actually find islands with treasure on them, and you can find the treasure and and you can follow the clues, and you can find the treasure, and you can actually dig it up. You can actually find buried fucking treasure, and sometimes that the treasure will actually be guarded by shit, and you'll have to fight them off. They only showed like guns. It's a first-person game, of course. You can only they've only shown guns, which makes sense, I guess. But I'm wondering if you can actually use swords, because swords are a big thing about pirates. Not sure if you can. You probably can. They didn't show it, or if they did, I wasn't paying attention. But I don't think they showed swords. But I'm hoping you can actually use swords in this game. There is of course both PvE and PvP enemy other players. The players' crews can come in and try and jack your shit. What's cool? You can launch yourself out of a fucking cannon. They actually show it twice. Once, one of your people is coming onto the island from your ship, and the other, you're actually boarding an enemy ship using the cannon and just wiping them all out. It's really fucking cool. And the best thing is that you can coordinate your team really well. You can have like 3 of your people going onto the island and getting the treasure, while your 4th kind of circles the island and make sure that if you're in any kind of trouble, he can help you out by using the cannons, which they did. I mean, like, this was really heavily scripted too, but it shows you hopefully what this is gonna be like, and it looked really damn cool. Like, I seriously doubt anyone, an actual player, will be able to hit 3 of those skeleton fucks that they were fighting with pinpoint accuracy exactly when you're coming out of the cave with the treasure, and not hit you. Like, that is a miracle shot. I doubt anyone will actually be able to do that in game, but it still looked cool. And actually, the entire video it actually had really good humor, and I'm hoping that will actually carry over into the actual game. Like, it could have just been the narrator for the demo just having fun with it, but just the art style of the game, and the nature of the game itself. It seems like it would be a waste if that same kind of humor wasn't in the game itself. At least that's my opinion. Sea of Thieves, pretty damn good. Would definitely get. I recommend it. Then they showed a relatively short teaser for a game called Tacoma, which I'm not sure what it is. I think it might be some sort of space station simulator. Like you're living on a space station, but the people were like made of light wire frames, or I'm not sure what it was. Unlike The Artful Escape, it did not immediately draw me in. So like, I was just really fucking confused. So I'm not sure about that. One thing that really took me by surprise is Super Lucky's Tale, which is a kid-oriented mascot platformer. Yeah. Let's bring those back. I fucking love those. We got Yooka-Laylee. We got fucking Crash. We got Bubsy. Mario and Sonic never left. So fuck yeah, bring back more mascot platformers. Let's do this shit. And it actually looked pretty good. It played how you would expect a platformer like this with a character who's a fox would play. He can jump, he can burrow, he jumps on top of enemies to kill them. It was a cute little, fun little thing. It's happening. I'm glad it's happening. Speaking of it's happening, Cuphead actually has a hard release date this time. Hopefully it'll actually come out this year. September, I believe. September 18th, I think. Around that time. So, yeah, Cuphead might actually fucking come out. Yep, here's hoping. Crackdown 3. It's Crackdown 3. And if you played the first two Crackdown games, you'll probably like this. I'm really only interested in this game if Terry Crews actually is a character in it, because the trailer they showed had Terry Crews in it, and if Terry Crews is actually in the game, then I will consider buying it. Unless it's an Xbox exclusive, then I probably won't anyway. But yeah, there's Crackdown 3. That's the thing that's happening. Then they actually just like rattled off a bunch of different games that they're showing off. I'll list them off and maybe I'll be able to remember what they actually looked like. Osiris, it looked like a space exploration game. Raiders, I think it had a subtitle, but I'm not sure what it was. Raiders, it looked kind of like a third-person melee-focused Overwatch, or like that kind of deathmatch MOBA type game. I don't. Unruly Heroes, 2D side-scrolling hack and slash. I'm all over that shit. Path of Exile, Diablo style dungeon crawler. Battle Rights, I think another MOBA maybe. Surviving Mars, you play as a Mars rover doing shit, I'm assuming. Like you're on Mars, you're a rover, and you're I guess you gotta complete missions or something to do, I don't know. Fable Fortune. Yeah, Fable is I think they should probably just kill the Fable license. It is basically this close to being a free-to-play mobile game. This series is it's lost any sort of credibility. This is like I want to say it's a card game, but they aren't cards. It's like a figures. It's like a figures battle game. I don't fucking know. There's something like this in Yu-Gi-Oh, but I don't remember what the hell it was called, or if anyone gives a shit about it. Observer. I don't actually remember what this one was. I think it's a horror game with like sci-fi elements. Robocraft, the StarCraft ripoff. Dunk Lords. You remember you remember NBA Jam? That Minion Masters tower defense game, Brawlout, Smash Brothers clone, Oblets. I'm not entirely sure. It looks like it's kind of like Pikmin, except not in space. And the Pikmin are like a bunch of different things. Like they're all natural elemental creature things, but it kind of seems like a mix of Animal Crossing and Pikmin in a pastel colored world. It looks interesting. I'll give them that. Dark and Light, medieval RPG hack and slash. Strange Brigade. It kind of looks like if Indiana Jones had a bunch of people with him. Like, I think that's actually what it is. It's like you're all like Indiana Jones type adventurers, and you're going out and fighting things and looking for artifacts. Like, just what I'm getting from this, I'm not entirely sure. Riverbound, an isometric adventure game. I'm not entirely sure. Hello Neighbor. That's actually been well, not the full game. There's been like demos and previews and early access builds of this game out for about a year now. But it looks like the full game is definitely coming out, and it's going to be on Xbox One. So Yeah, that's cool. Shift, another 2D side-scrolling hack and slash. This one, you seem to be spending a lot of time in the air. And Conan Exiles. It's a Conan game. There you go. And it's first person, so it's probably an Elder Scrolls ripoff. So yeah, there's all that. They just ran those in quick succession, so I'm not entirely sure how much relevance they're actually going to have, or how many of these are actually going to... I'm pretty sure none of these are Xbox exclusives, and they're probably going to be elaborated on in other conferences across the weekend. They also showed Ashen, which is a co-op dungeon crawler. Seems pretty interesting. I'm on board. And the Life is Strange sequel. Life is Strange Before the Storm. I haven't played Life is Strange. It's one of those gaming bucket list type. It's one of those bucket list type games. You know, things you want to play and you feel you should play, but you just haven't gotten around to it. Life is Strange is that for me. I don't really know much about the story. I know the main character is named Max, and she has the ability to rewind time. And there was some massive storm that was going to destroy their home, and she had to figure out a way to stop it. And Chloe, I think her name was, the blue-haired chick. I think Max was trying to help her find her girlfriend, Rachel. I think Rachel is her name, and she finds her in this. So yeah, I'm curious where Chloe is. Because, like I said, I haven't played the game yet, so I don't know if she died or something at the end. But it takes a few years. It takes a few years later. Takes place a few years later. Max is a senior in college now, and she apparently does find Rachel. So there's that. I think a lot of people are going to be looking forward to that. They showed off some Shadow of War gameplay, namely the Nemesis system, which it was the Nemesis system. It looked fine. It was basically what it was in the first game, except this time you're actually racing an orc army to storm on Mordor, which is kind of cool. It is what it is. We've already known about Shadow of War for a while. I didn't play the first. That's my brother working on something outside. I didn't play the first Shadow of Mordor, so I don't really care about this one. But it's I'm sure people are already excited about this. People who played the first game and actually give a shit about it. And the only thing I could think of is the orc boss that they show the main character enslaving. He was awesome. He was so fucking cool. I want to play as him. Fuck this Talon, whatever the fuck his name is. I don't care about him. I just want to play as this orc. This orc is awesome. I'm assuming that he's gonna be with you for most of the game, since I think enslaving him is actually a scripted sequence. And if that's true, good, because I like this orc way more than I like the hero of this game. I want a game about this orc. That's what I want. Okay, so they showed a quick trailer for the Ori sequel, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, not Will of the Wisp, Will of the Wisp. Which, okay. Again, never played the original Ori. Another game I always meant to play. Never got around to it, but you know. Apparently, a big thing is that Xbox 360 and Xbox Xbox One and Xbox One X are going to be backwards compatible with the original Xbox games. That is very cool. Don't know exactly when it's going to happen. Sometime this year, but yeah, you'll be able to play your original Xbox games on the Xbox One. That's bully for Microsoft. I don't even think the PS4 has that. I know that I'm pretty sure that you can download PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games on it, but you can't just like if you have a PlayStation 1 or a PlayStation 2 game, you can't just pop it into PlayStation 4 and just play it. Like, I don't think you can. So yeah, that's actually something that Xbox has over PlayStation. Again, bully for Xbox. And they showed they ended the conference with Anthem, and I mentioned yesterday that Anthem had me interested. It seemed pretty cool. You know, there were big ass monsters, there was a city, and there was power armor. That's all we knew about it yesterday, and now we find out a little bit more about it. There is indeed a city, and you play a special person called a freelancer. Not to be confused with the red versus blue freelancers. This freelancer is they're basically an explorer. They have the power armor, and they go out and they explore the outside world for God knows what reason. I'm sure the reason is going to be given in the actual game, but all we know is that the freelancers go out into the world and explore in their power armor, and it looks cool. It looks good. It looks great, actually. It looks fantastic. It seems really fun. You can fly. You can pilot the suit underwater. You have all sorts of guns and stuff. You have different armors with different stats and powers and weaknesses and bonuses and weapons and stuff like that. And it's really highly customizable, and that's great. It's awesome. And the worlds you can explore outside of the city, it's massive, it's huge. It's really cool because you can go almost anywhere and you can encounter stuff that is really fucking strong. And if you don't want to mess with it, you don't have to mess with it, and you can go somewhere else. And you have these, and I'm guessing you have missions, like you have things you need to do when you leave the city and go out and explore and stuff, and all that. And you even have world events, which is massive events that are happening in the world. And of course, it's multiplayer. Most of these games are multiplayer. I've noticed that Xbox, of course, is really heavy on multiplayer. And you can actually, you can partner up with friends, and if you're encountering one of these world events, you can actually bring in 2 more friends who are also playing in this world, and have them come in and help you out, and it's really cool. And you can go in and you can do the world event. They didn't actually show the world event, which is understandable. You know, you gotta save some shit, but. Yeah, Anthem looks great. Anthem looks fine. It's not an RPG though. It might have RPG elements, but considering that the bulk of the game is wearing the power armor and exploring the outside, it doesn't seem like it's going to be an RPG, and it's not a big deal. You know, BioWare is branching out, but it is BioWare we're talking about right here. It's like they're the RPG guys. Like, that's what you expect from them. I mean, Knights of the Old Republic, Jade Empire, Dragon Age, Mass Effect. it's what you expect from them, and it's what they got famous for, really. And like, I know that's not the only thing they've done, and I know it's important that you branch out and you do new things. And hell, it's like, yeah, the bulk of the game is going to be the outside exploring, but like inside the city, that could be where the RPG elements come in, and we really don't know what the story of the game is going to be. So they've only really shown the outside power armor stuff, which is really cool. It's just, it doesn't look like it's an RPG, you know? And like, that's what I'm most concerned about right now. And I love BioWare. I want them, and I love them when they make cool RPGs. And yeah, but Anthem, it still looks cool. And that was it. That was Microsoft's press conference, and yeah, it was pretty good. It was hard to tell which was an Xbox exclusive and what wasn't, and what was going to be exclusive to the new Xbox, and you know, what could actually benefit from the 4K experience. Because, you know, honestly, a lot of the games that I was most excited for would benefit from the 4K. It had a really simple art style, or it had a really cartoony art style. You know, it didn't need the hyper realistic or the mega graphics that the new Xbox is said to bring forth. But it's like I can't be too mad at them. Like, this was pretty damn good. I will give them that. This was pretty damn good. Significantly better than EA's, in my opinion, at least. And like, it had more stuff, had more interesting stuff, had more varied stuff. It had a lot of focus on the indie scene, a lot of multiplayer stuff. And like, I'm not a big Xbox guy, so it's kind of hard for me to care about a lot of the stuff they're doing, especially the stuff that's exclusive to the console. But yeah, my opinion, Xbox did pretty good. So Bethesda's press conference is going to be later tonight. I seriously doubt I will get the actual impressions video to you right after, or even tonight. You'll probably be seeing that first thing in the morning. But yeah, Xbox did pretty good. Bethesda, blow me out of the water next. See you later.